Hello, this is Malorian, and this is the Orc Tactical Team. We're back again, and this is something I kind of want to talk about before, but I had to give time for the army to develop and see what's going to happen with it. And so what this topic is how will Orcs and Goblins deal with tournament High Elves? Now, of course, there's only been so many tournaments so far. It's still going to develop, but I think already there's set patterns coming out of what you're going to see. And something that's interesting here, too, is that there's 4 separate builds that I see as being the main power builds, whereas normally if you're going with, say, like Warriors of Chaos, there's like the one general build you're going to see. So it's interesting. You have to be worried about 4 different things. Now, the first one here we're going to be talking about is the all-mounted list. Now, the all-mounted list, now you could take Knights for core, you could take your special Knights, the Dragon Princes, and man, this is just tons of 2+ save coming at you really fast. Now, the good things about Orcs and Goblins here is that you have some very good counters to this. You have Spear Chuckas and Doom Divers, which are just night killers. And then past this as well is that we have a lot of good throwaway units. We have all the things like the Wolf Riders and stuff to slow them down. Finally, we can deal with high armor in combat between, the strength 5 from your Savage Orc Biggins, the strength 7 from your Black Orcs. You got strength 5 again if you're going with the Squig Herds. You got your Trolls that can just puke on them. Really, at the end of the day, high armor isn't the problem. So I think if you face this build, it won't be that difficult. So there's a good one right there. The next one, though, I think is going to cause more of an issue. And this is going to be the shooty Wood Elf style of the list. Now, what's going to happen here is you're going to see them having either lots of archers or a sea guard for their core, lots of the bolt throwers on top of the sky cutters, and then as well a bunch of sisters. And I mean, one of the things that's so deadly is that these sisters will tear your guys apart. If you got Black Orcs, they're going to take off a rank every turn. And it's one thing like, well, okay, I can just move up. Remember, they're going to be slowing you down with eagles and stuff like that, and they're just going to be shooting you to pieces. Anything that you have that's going to be a support unit is going to be destroyed, and even your bigger units will be whittled away. And the big thing here is, I mean, in the end of the day, something might get through, but it's just like Wood Elves, where they're going to be picking you apart, avoiding your biggest stuff, and just being ahead in victory points at the end of the day. So how are we going to deal with this one? Well, unfortunately, if you go into it, a lot of your war machines won't do so well. I mean, sure, you can be picking them away, but hitting some sisters is nice with a Doom Diver. It's a lot more satisfying when you're killing a bunch of knights. But still, if you can kill off those sisters with the Doom Divers, that's going to help a lot. Again, if you have Foot of Gork, if they have the big units of the whatever, be it the archers or the Sea Guard, smash those units. Just make them disappear. Another thing that's going to be massive is make sure that your leadership is good. Expect all the way across the board that they destroy these little support units. It's going to be like panic check bombs. So make sure you're very careful for how you're spacing that out. As well, try and force through that Hand of Gork. The biggest thing they're trying to do is shoot you at range. If you can throw your Savage Orc Biggins right in their face, fantastic. You can then go and clean them up. But this is going to be a really iffy fight because really it's just Wood Elves done better. So very dangerous game. I think if you're taking your now kind of normal tournament Orc build, it's just going to have to be really just kind of like how you dealt with Wood Elves before, but just respecting them a lot more as well. They won't have the Tree Man or anything like that. They could always be taking a Phoenix or something in there as well, so that would be a danger. But really, if they're really pushing the shooting, they're not going to have as many points. The point of these things like Phoenixes, so you just gotta really get in there. And also too, like just like with fighting Wood Elves, you can't just kind of like run up and do whatever. You want to try and corral them, because one of the things they can try and do as well is try and redirect a few bits of your line, start moving around, and especially those sisters that as long as you put in the Handmaiden can move and shoot without penalty, you can expect these guys to be moving 5 inches every turn and trying to sweep around your flank, trying to use the Hand of Fate to gain around you. So be very careful for this stuff. Next one here then would be the Monster Mash. So this would be something we're going to be seeing, guys on dragons, the Dragon Princes, maybe some Griffins. You're going to be seeing all the Phoenixes and all this stuff as well. And what they can really do is pick their fights, because they're probably going to have some like Sky Cutters or the Bolt Throwers, either Reavers or some Knights as well. And they're going to be fast, picking their fights and striking away. Now I think, again, just like the Knight one, is that because of the way the meta has changed, this won't be so bad for us because we're already used to dealing with monsters. We're used to having to try and shoot down the demon prince, the chimeras, stuff like that. Sorry. So we're already starting to take a lot more war machines. These war machines are going to be just what you need to take down the monster mash. Now, unfortunately, whereas against Warriors of Chaos, you're probably going to see a Demon Prince and 2 Chimeras coming really fast. Now you're probably going to see, like 2 Phoenixes, a dragon, a fire dragon, and a griffin zipping at you. So it's really going to have to be about target priority, trying to see what ones we can cause panic tests to something else, what can you try and tie up. But for the most part, we're also a very heavy combat army. So if they ever dedicate, you should be all right. The big thing is just don't walk blindly into it, right? If they charge you, even if it's your Savage Orc Biggins with, there's your great unit. If they multi-charge you with, say, like 3 monsters, you're going to be destroyed like nothing between all those thunderstorms. So be careful, stay back, castle, pretend you're a dwarf player, and just shoot them down. Now, the final one is probably going to be the one that really is going to be like the ultimate tournament build that's going to be the most reliable. So if you're at the top tables, this is probably the one that's going to sneak through later on as this really develops. And what I think this is going to be is also the Death Star. So this is either going to be the big unit of Phoenix Guard that's going to be beefed up to have the 3+ ward. There's also going to be that World Banner Dragon, whatever thing there goes well. That'll probably be on a separate unit, maybe a big unit of White Lions, maybe who knows what else. But it's probably going to be based around 2 massive units. Hell, it could be the 1 massive unit, but I think for the most part, it's going to be 2 massive ones. Who really knows? But the main thing here is we are not really affected by the banner there. If you're a demon player, that's a big deal. If you're us, that's not. So all of a sudden, that's great. Throw your guys into that unit, destroy it. Now, if it is just based around like the 1 massive unit of the Phoenix Guard, this again will be a thing you have to go back to your usual Death Star tactics. So you need to go and use something to slow it down. Get in your Wolf Riders, try and do double fleas if you can. Keep it in place. When you need to actually finally fight them, make sure it's in a way that you're redirecting them away from the battle so they're going to be doing as little as possible. And then while that's happening, frickin' swarm everything else. Because almost all their points will be in that 1 unit. And so if you can rip around and kill their other things, that's great. You can be ahead in victory points. Really, at the end of the day, if they take a smaller unit, and that's what I think some people are trying out now, where they're taking a unit, say like 20 or 30 Phoenix Guard. Well, even smaller, more around the 20, just so it's not too many points dedicated in 1 unit. Well, if they do that, you can actually beat this just with multiples and massive attacks. Because even though they have a 3+ ward, if you're coming at them with your Savage Orc Biggins or with your Trolls, where there's tons of attacks, you're going to get through it because they only have so many attacks themselves. They're only strength 4. And I mean, really what the 3+ ward means, because you're going past their armor, strength 5, is that for every 3 you go through, you kill 1. So of course, all you need to do is as many attacks as possible, and you get past that. And that's why I think you're going to see that initially, and then after that, they're just going to get bigger and bigger. You're going to start seeing the 40, the 50 for the Phoenix Guard. And that's going to be scary stuff. But all you can do is anti-Death Star it and try and move it away. I mean, hell, if you can try and finagle it and try and get like a flank charge or something, but at the end of the day, they're probably going to have somebody in there with the Stubborn Crown, so that probably won't work either. So really, just try and flee from it, redirect it, kill the other stuff. So overall, that's it. I think you're going to see those 4 main builds. Of course, you're going to be seeing all the in-betweens, all the ones where they're combining this and this and this. But really, I think it's the people that are going to be specializing in those 4 areas, that are really going to be going to the top tables at the end of the tournament. And these are the ones you're going to have to see. So there you have it, and good luck, and we'll see you later. Bye.